Bigfoot, brother, how are you? Charles, how are you? Charles, I just had to show that coin off. Oh, let me fix this. There, that should help. How are you guys? Bigfoot, it's good to see you. It's cooling off a little bit up here. I think our 90-degree days are done. Fall's going to be just around the corner. Time for the purge. I'm ready for that. But Bigfoot, Charles made me the mold for this here coin that you see up here on my screen. Isn't that a badass? Check out the other side of it. There it is. Yeah, buddy. That's the coin of the year right there. And there's Billy yelling in my ear. She wants attention. And I just don't really want to give it to her right now. But she ain't going to leave me alone. No, she won't. But how are you guys doing? I know, isn't that's just a sweet little turd, isn't it? But good job on that. Thank you, Charles. Coin sense and nonsense. How are you, brother? Been a while. I've been picking up a few of your videos here and there. But this is the latest thing that I poured. Talked with Charles and said this was the design I want, and he made it for me, the mold. And well, now we've got something that's really appropriate and politically incorrect. But I just poured, this is the first one of these right here. Just poured that today. But I've also been pouring some hummingbirds. I poured 12 of these as hat pins. That's actually what the mold is a hat pin. You can see on the back where the pins come off. But if you look on the chest of it there's a man's face in it, and sunflower, and there's a butterfly in the hummingbird. And that's all from the Billy Strings Home album from a couple years ago, the one that won the Grammy. But this is the artwork off of that. But his artists that make this stuff to sell at the shows, who I know them all, contacted me and said, could you pour a couple of these pours in silver that they could sell to the high rollers? So there's that one, and then there's this one here. But they're both, like I said, in the artwork from the album. And they sent Heather, good evening. How are you, darling? Oh, nice, nice. Good. Yeah, I poured these bugs, and I poured the hummingbirds. Oh, Heather hasn't seen this one. You gotta see this one. That's my big surprise right there. I just absolutely adore this thing. But isn't it nice though when you get the hummingbirds around you? But you've got so many fruit trees and different flowering shrubs around your place. The hummingbirds are just going to be there just because it's smorgasbord for them. But we got this one going. And then there's this one that is, oh, this one turns the other way. But that's my lake right there. 10,000 acres of it. That's the island. I don't live too far from the island. And I poured a couple of these today. That's not really the good one, though. Here's the good one. But they're just really for, I've got a tube of these bad boys. My Uranus coins. But got a whole tube of them. Well, this is going to make it so that tube is almost full. I think there'll still be room for one more, but I'll pour that tomorrow. I've still got a little silver left to play with. And I definitely want to pour some more of these FJB coins. And Billy wants to knock something off my desk really bad. But that's the only fun she has in life. She won't go up and play with the dogs. I don't know why. But come here, kitty. But one of the other things that I did kind of want to talk a little bit about, I mean, if anybody wants to come up, there's the link. You're definitely welcome to come up. But let me change the camera, and I'll show you what else that I pour. But this is something I pour just for myself. See those? That's what I pour to put in my stack. I mean, yeah, I've got these coins, but 10-ounce ingots. Tone them up, stamp them up, make them look pretty. But that's where I put weight in. And I'm buying I'm buying shot. So I'm getting it as cheap as possible. I just bought some the other day. It's coming to me. I paid under $22 an ounce for my silver. And you can't buy any kind of generic rounds that cheap. But I make some stuff that's as good as, or better than generic rounds. I mean, this one here, 2.15 troy ounces. That's a nice big chunk of silver, huh? Yeah, these Uranus coins are about 50 grams. And then the FJB, this bad boy, it's under 20 grams, just barely under. It's 19.6 or something. But when the banks go to hell and everything is gone, that'll be a good barter size. Well, Bigfoot, and if you went and bought your shot from AppMex, you're probably going to be paying through the anal sphincter for it. But I get together with a group of other people that pour, and about once a month we'll go together and buy, and some of them have some real money. But we'll buy 300 ounces. Well, if I get 20 or 30, I'm doing pretty good. And then at that, I've got to sell most of it so that I get my money back and get a little bit of free silver out of it. But if you're buying enough of it, yeah, you get a really good deal on it, especially if you have a refiner that you can go through. Great Scott, good evening, buddy. Donald in New Mexico. Of course I'm high. And I don't have any dabs right here to do with you, but I did a couple before I came down to the studio. Mountain Wolf, good to see you. But got a couple of new pours here that I'm kind of showing off and playing with. This one up on screen is kind of the coup de grace. Charles made the mold for me, and I poured it today for the first time. But a nice little thank you to our fearful leader. But that's a fun coin. I figure that there'll be a few people wanting one of those. And Donald will probably want a whole tube of them. We know he hates Joe Biden. And then there's Higgins Lake pours. Turn that the wrong way every time. But that's a cool little pour. It's about the same weight and size as the FJB. And we got Uranus is the answer. And if you go into Ida's She Shop in the morning, you'll understand that from playing trivia in there. Because Uranus is probably the most common answer given. But just another fun coin. About 50 grams. And spreading the word. Charles pretty much designed this side of the coin. What does that tell you? But then we got some hummingbirds. Let's see, get this thing so it's on the screen. Good. There we go. Well, drop it down just a little bit. And maybe a little more. But there you go. But these and the scarabs come from the artwork on Billy Strings' Home album. But as I've been through this a couple times, but there's a few new people in here. But the artists for the bands, the ones that make all the stuff that gets sold at the shows, I know all of these guys. I've met them a time or two. And they know that I do this stuff. And a few weeks back, one of the guys, he said, if I send you a couple of pins, can you pour them in silver for me? And so we got the scarab, and the hummingbird. I think they come out pretty good. They're cool. Look at the face on that thing. That's just wicked looking. Now, Silver Scorpion, thanks for stopping in, buddy. Appreciate it. You have a good evening and rest well. I think I'm probably up for a while. I run out of work to do, and so I decided I'd come on here and do a little live stream. But I ain't ready for sleep yet. It's not 4 o'clock in the morning yet. I don't know, maybe one or two of you haven't seen these before, but I always have my channel rounds. Those things are cool. They're right at 1/8 of an ounce. I try to do my stuff under an ounce. It just makes it easier for people. Put that one back up. There's the star for the night. The Talking Bullion, how are you? Good to see you. Yeah, I'm just going through some of my pours. I'm not sure how long you've been here or what you've seen or haven't seen. Well, Heather, come on up and show your big foot off. I got a Bigfoot pour, but it's upstairs in my display. Oh, well, TV, the FJB. This is actually the prototype. I just got the mold from Charles yesterday and poured it today, and I like the way it came out. Makes me laugh, makes me smile. But I'm going to do a bunch of those. And then I've got another one here that's same size, but it's got Michigan and my lake on it. I know you've seen my lake before. I remember when you were up here. And then we've got Uranus is the answer. And that's a play on the trivia game that we play in Ida Herring's morning she shop. Oh, by the way, people, keep Ida in your prayers. I don't know exactly what's going on, but I was talking to her earlier today on the phone. And while I was talking to her, she got called away to the hospital to deal with something for her mom. Not good, but then the hummingbird here is from the artwork off of the Billy Strings home album that won the Grammy last year. But his artist contacted me, and this is one of the hat pins that they make. And they asked me if I could pour it in silver. And I did a bunch for them. They're getting sent out in the mail tomorrow. Those and these, the scarabs, that are also from the artwork off of the album. And most of this stuff, it's right around 20 grams, except for like the Uranus coins are about 50. And then this is one this is where I met you at, TV, was at my store. This is a coin that I made for the store, but it's over 2 ounces. That's a chunker. But I've got one, and then the store owners have each got one. And then TV's got one of those. Met him up at a coin show, I don't know, 8-9 months ago. And I took him a gift, and he brought me a gift. And his gift was really cool. I got one of his channel rounds. It's made by Backyard Bullion from over in England. Oh man, that is a nice, nice piece. But oh yeah, I'm still working there. I I couldn't leave that. And it's a mile and a half from the house. I work 3 days a week. Um, the worst thing is when I've got to do stock, and I don't have to do it that often, and I usually have help. But then I've been pouring some 10-ounce ingots. I can change the camera and you can get a better view on them. But I'm getting when I buy shot, I work with a group of people and we get it cheap enough that I'm several dollars per ounce under anything I can get online. Absolutely, man. I mean, you remember how good the steaks were last year. We did good this year. I mean, all of the steaks that we sell in the shop come from the owner's ranch. So they're all hand raised, grass finished, hand raised pigs for all of our pork. It's good meat. But I got a couple of them that I toned up and then a couple of them that I didn't, just to kind of show the contrast. But, somebody sees that ugly thing, they might not even realize it's silver for a minute. Or this one. But the hard thing about pouring these is you need to make sure that your mold is really hot, or you're going to get the silver sticking on the walls of the mold, and it doesn't come out so nice. And this one, like I did a really good job on it. There's hardly any on it, but then on this one, you can see where it came up on the walls a little bit, just because the silver solidifies at a relatively high temperature. But I get 10-ounce bars though for $100 cheaper than anybody else gets 100 or 10-ounce bars. Well, maybe not $100 cheaper, probably 50. And they're very rare. But try again. Good to see you. I'm happy to see everybody come in. And again, I think I have got anybody wants to come on up in and say their 2 cents, you're absolutely welcome to. And I'm not going to keep going a whole lot longer. I didn't have a whole lot to say, really. As much as anything, I hope you all collect your silver without paying the huge, huge premiums that it seems like so many people do pay. I'd love to sell you all a piece of my porch silver, but don't make that your stack. Just make it something special. Because I think that they can really rake us over the coals over these prices. And in the end, it is going to be the person with the most ounces that wins. I don't know what you're going to win, but you got to have the most ounces to win. Maybe you'll win a whoopee cushion. I don't know. But at any rate, I think I'm going to say good evening and start picking up all of this stuff. Oh, I am good. One more thing I'll do here. I'll let y'all know. I'm going to probably the official announcement will be on Ida's show tomorrow morning, but that's only because there's only, 6 people in here, so it's not like anybody's really gonna. This isn't earth shattering, but I am gonna sell this here vertical. It's a 5-ounce vertical, like I did with the 300-gram one. But instead of having the purchase coin be, those were Mario coins, we're going to use FJB coins. So what it'll be is you buy an FJB coin from me for choke $80, but there'll only be 10 of them sold at that price. And those names will all go on one of these here cards. And one of those people will not only get their FJB card, but they'll also get that 5-ounce vertical. So it's not really. Thanks, Charles. I actually set up Cash App too. So it'd be like $ and then Jubilant Cultivation is my Cash App. Stacking Kid, good evening. Good to see you. We're just kind of getting ready to close this thing up, but good to see you. Well, y'all, have a blessed evening. I'm going to go lay down and see how many hours it takes me to fall asleep. Have fun, and I will talk to you soon. Have a blessed evening.